Everybody wants some blast of magic, 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 magic. Look up the magic in me.
It's Wednesday, and it's time for the next episode of Magician 101, the show for all magicians. Before we get to this week's questions, because we only got 2 of them this week, remember to post your questions down below for next week. Speaking of next week, I'm going to talk about the schedule. Even though it's Christmas Day, I'm still going to upload a Magician 101. Upload one. I'll be filming Magician 101 the night before on Tuesday, because I don't want to film it Christmas Day. So get your questions into me by next Tuesday, and we will answer them next week on Magician 101. It'll be a special kind of Christmas episode. Maybe I'll have a little tree here or something. I don't know. We'll see. But still post your questions down below. And I want to get a few more for our Christmas special next week. So definitely post some questions. I like getting questions. So let's get a couple more for next week. All right. Now, because there's only a few questions this week, I think I'm going to start a new segment on the show when we only have like 1 or 2 questions. And I'm going to do this new segment where I'm going to talk about a new trick that just came into Bob's Magic Emporium that I'm really excited about. First of all, my great-grandmother is going out of town for Christmas. She won't be here, which is very sad because I love having her for Christmas. But so we did an early Christmas at her house. We did gifts and had a breakfast at her house for Christmas and all that. And so she got me a couple magic tricks. And, well, of course, she didn't get them because she's like 90. So she can't use the computer. So, you know, my mom got them and then, you know, my grandmother paid for them. But anyways, she got me 2 tricks. We're going to talk about one of them because actually, purely coincidental, I can't talk about, you'll see in a moment. But first I want to talk about this one. Got this one in from Theory 11, and this is Overstuffed by Bizarro. I did on yesterday. Whoa, the lid almost came off. Yesterday, it's like, crap. Yesterday I did the performance of this. This is really cool. This was done by Justin Flom on Ellen. And you might remember when he took the Oreo cookie, licked the cream off of it, and then he showed the cookie to have no cream, and the cream slowly appeared back in the cookie. This is a really, really cool trick. Freaks people out. Really, really cool. The cookie cream just comes back in there, and it's very visual, so it's very cool. I recommend getting this. Like I said in the review of it, Theory 11, I think, is the only one who's carrying it right now. They're the only exclusive provider of this trick, but it might come out into other magic dealers later. But you can go to Theory11.com and get this. I recommend getting this because it is a really, really killer trick. When you take an Oreo out of the... Now, you don't have to use the package. I do, like I did in the performance. I went out and got a package of Oreos, opened it, took the overstuffed gimmick out, and then I did the trick. And it's really cool. It really does kill. And it looks really good, too. Even when you're sitting there practicing it and you know the secret, it looks really good when the cream just starts slowly appearing back in the cookies. That's Overstuffed. Really cool. I recommend getting that at Theory 11. And, yeah, I think you should get that. Really cool. All right. So, Jay Brothwick was the only person who asked questions this week. And he says, mate, thanks, mate. Hope you get all, I can't speak tonight. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so he says, thanks, mate. Hope you get all them great tricks that you have asked Santa for. And what do you think of David Regal's Clarity Box? All right, this is the purely coincidental part. Jay Brothwick asked this question last week, like I think it was Thursday or Friday. And Sunday, that was one of the tricks on my list, and I actually got the Clarity Box on Sunday. So it's purely coincidental, but let me talk about the Clarity Box. If you don't know what the Clarity Box is, it is a card to impossible location. Now, I will upload the video for this probably Monday or Tuesday. The reason being is because I've already filmed all the rest of this week's, so I'm not going to do the video for this. I wanted to do Overstuffed because that was really cool, but when I filmed that video, but I didn't film this one because I'm still working on this and still getting the trick down 100% perfect. But anyways, the whole premise of this trick is you have the spectators select a card. First, it's a card to impossible location. You start off by, now this is only going to be a good trick for like a cabaret style show or stage. It might work close up. You might have a couple angle issues. I'll talk about that in a moment. But anyways, you have this sitting on your table like off to the side. It's sitting off to the side on your table. And you do a card trick where you have the spectators select a card. They sign it. It gets lost in the deck. and or it could do something where it disappears from the deck or it gets lost or whatever. It disappears basically. You can't find the card, so you talk about, because inside of here it says emergency use only. So you talk about how, now you reference this box throughout your show. So at the beginning you'll say, I have this emergency box here just in case an emergency happens in the show. Nothing usually happens, but in case it does, I got one here. And you keep mentioning and mentioning it during the show. And then when you do the beginning of the card trick, you lose the card. You talk about, oh my gosh, where did this is an emergency. And then they see the card folded up in this box the entire show. And you keep mentioning it to them so their attention draws back to it and they remember, oh, wait a minute, there's a card in that box. And at the very end of the routine, you take the box, you take the lid off, you dump the box out, you dump the card out, and it's in your hand, and you open it up, and it's their signed card that was inside of this box. It is a really dynamite trick. I've been practicing this, in the mirror, getting it down pretty good, and I gotta tell you, it looks really, really good. It looks very convincing. I can't go into the secret, but this is a really, really great trick. Where the card goes to an impossible location. The best thing I like about this trick is they see the card the entire time. This is an old effect in Magic. It's a very old effect. Card to impossible location has been done many, many years. But this is one of the first ones, first of all, where the box, you see the card in the box the whole time, the whole show. You leave it sitting somewhere where they can see it the whole time. And second, you mention it, reference it throughout the whole show. It's really, really cool. And then they see the card get dumped out of the box, and then boom, it's in your hand, and then you open it up and it's their selected card. Very, very cool, because in their minds, the spectators say, well, I saw that card sitting in that box the whole entire time. The really cool thing about the box is you get stickers to decorate your box with. I decorated it with the yellow and black caution tape. You don't have to put anything around the box if you don't want. They also give you red and black caution tape if you want. And they also let you change up the inserts inside of here. So the inserts that David Regal gives you is a red folded up card. You can have a blue folded up card. You can have a dollar bill or some kind of currency in here, or you can have a mentalism routine where this part right here, the emergency use only sign, is a question mark, and then the whatever the contents inside the box would be like some kind of prediction, like an index card or a piece of paper folded up, and then you dump it out and boom. So there's a couple bad things about the trick. Angles. The angles aren't too bad. You just can't have anybody behind you. Side might not be as bad, but I don't know if the side would even be good. David Regal talks about the angles in the DVD, and he says they need to really be like straight in front of you. That's the best angle to view this at. Or kind of at, I think in the DVD he said a 30-degree angle, so something kind of like that. So kind of like where the box is to the camera right there. That's kind of the angle you want the box to be at, because it looks better that way. Let's see what else. The box is really nice. It's basically an acrylic box, which is really nice. The only thing is it won't fit in a jacket pocket, so this doesn't really work for like walk-around setting. But this is a really killer trick. I haven't done it yet for actual people because I'm still practicing it. There is a special, actually the special piece of sleight of hand you have to do for the trick. It's kind of easy, but David Regal talks about one where you don't have to do the special piece of sleight of hand needed in the trick to do the trick. You can do it another way and get into the same setup just using another way to do it. And I can't go into that because, of course, I don't want to give away anything. But honestly, the effect is killer. And you can, I wouldn't redo the trick, but you can set the trick up to do it different ways in an instant. So really, honestly, you could have the playing card and you go to the very next show and have it be a dollar bill inside of here or some kind of currency inside of here, which is really cool. I think that's really cool. The gimmick is swappable, like in no time flat, which I think is really cool. So I can't say enough good things about the Clarity Box by David Regal because it's a really, really great trick. So definitely go pick this up from your favorite magic dealer. It's expensive. It's like 80 American dollars, but it's definitely well worth it if you want to get into card to impossible location routines, or you want to, or you want to get a new card to impossible location routine. This is a great one. And I think David Regal's outdone himself. All right, and Jay Brothwick's final question is, and Holy by Will Tassai and SM Productions. And have a happy Christmas, mate. Ho ho. Winky face. Okay, so if you don't know what Holy is by Will Tassai, I'm sure I said that name wrong. It is where you hole punch a hole in a card and the hole moves. This is another effect, sort of like the card to impossible location. It's been done forever. A lot of magicians do it. And I watched the trailer for it, kind of the demo trailer kind of thing. I don't know how I feel about it. I've seen some other really cool moving hole card tricks. A really good one that recently just hit the market was Porthole. Porthole. P-O-R-T-H-O-L-E. Porthole. And that is a really, really great trick where you take kind of this bullet gun kind of thing. You punch a hole in a card, or you can use, they also supply a golf tee. You can use that as well. And you draw, like, basically it's like a bullseye kind of thing. You say, oh, I'm gonna shoot a hole in this card. Watch, boom, and then like, wait a minute, I can do one better. Let's trap the hole, and you draw like a bullseye around this little hole you've punched in the card. You do the same circles at the other end, and the spectator visually watches this circle go from one bullseye to the other. And then you can end completely clean, and you can pass out the card for examination. I really like Porthole better, I think. I think that's by Daryl Feinberg, I believe, put that one out, if I remember correctly. If not, you can post in the comments below who actually posted, who actually makes Porthole. I think it's Daryl Feinberg. But it's a really great trick. That one looks a lot better than Holy, but a lot of people say they like Holy too. So what I would do is look at both and kind of compare and see customer reviews on different magic websites, and also, you know, what do you think of between the two? I really like Porthole, but that's just my personal opinion. But you might think Holy's better. So I don't know. But so that's this week's Magician 101. Thank you for the great questions, Jay Brothwick. As always, Jay always posts really good questions. He always gets the cool questions. Okay, remember to post your questions down below for our special Christmas episode of Magician 101. I'll see you next Wednesday for an all-new Magician 101. I have a jack, and I also have 3 10s. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the jack and we're going to sandwich it right in. Of course, you get the 2 tubes, and you get a certain amount of bottles. Let me grab one of the bottles. He was on a roll with hole-in-one. Not only did he sink the putt on his first shot, but he also got the $500